Okay, guys, we are going to start working on the nervous system. I know many of you have been excited to start this one, so I hope that you find it very informational. Okay, so let's talk about the nervous system. When you talk about the nervous system, you have to, of course, mention the brain. The brain is by far the most important organ in the organ system. The average adult human brain weighs approximately 3 pounds. Now, I know you've probably heard that your whole head weighs about 8, but that includes all the bone, the integumentary, the skin, the blood, all that. The actual brain is just about 3 pounds. And the brain consists of 100 billion nerve cells. Now, you know how we go back to levels of organization, how a group of cells makes up tissue, tissue makes up an organ. So, a neuron cell is a very specialized cell that is only found in the nervous system. When you take a bunch of the nerve cells and neurons together, that makes nervous tissue, and all that tissue together makes the brain. So in the picture, you can see the average size of some rabbits. Humans by far have the most complex, which is why we're one of the smartest. So here's a brain cut in half. If you do not know, the brain is actually divided into different parts. You have lobes. You have your right lobe and left lobe. You have your hypothalamus. You have your brainstem. These are all parts that make up the brain. In this picture over here, these yellow cells are what are called neurons. These are your nerve cells. Notice how they almost kind of have that spider web look to them. Nerve cells have a lot of dendrites, which are these things that go out and connect. And this is where the electrical impulse that goes through. So kind of think of like neurons like a wire. Electricity travels through a wire, while our impulses from our brain travel through our neurons. So the nervous system receives information about what is happening both inside and outside of your body. Direct is the way in which your body responds to the information. So let's say that we touch something hot. Your body is going to remove it before you even consciously understand what you're doing. So let's say you put your hand on a hot stove. Your automatic reflex is to move it away. Your body is moving that away before your brain can actually even realize what you're doing. So it directs everything that your body does. And your brain is also the main organ that helps to maintain a stable internal conditions called homeostasis. So let's go ahead and pause the video, write that down, and put like a big bubble cloud around it, put stars. Your brain is the main organ responsible for maintaining homeostasis. You know that's going to be a test question. So let's talk about a stimulus. We kind of touched into this when we were going over adaptations. A stimulus is any change or signal in the environment that can make an organism react. Now, when we talked about phototropism and geotropism, gravity and light, those are stimuluses for plants. Well, the same can be true for humans. Anything that makes us react, like when somebody jumps out behind you and you get scared, the jumping out and scaring you is the stimulus. The stimulus can come from outside your body or inside your body. So when you touch a hot stove, the hot stove is the stimulus. That is outside your body. When your fever breaks and you start to sweat, your fever breaking is a stimulus. Your body sweating because it's dropping temperature is the result that is coming from inside your body. And after your nervous system analyzes the stimulus, it causes a response. So the stimulus is what is changing, whether outside or inside, and the response is how your nervous system reacts to it. Cause and effect. Stimulus response. Same thing. So your nervous system has two divisions that work together. You have your central nervous system, which many of you have probably heard before, and it is made up of your brain and your spinal cord. So make sure you write this down. So your central nervous system, or the CNS, is your brain and your spinal cord. It is the control center of the body, kind of like the nucleus of a cell. The spinal cord is a thick column of nerve tissue that links your brain to most of the nerves in the peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system is the other part that it's divided into. So you have your central, which is your brain and your spinal cord, which is like the main area. Then you have your peripheral, which is going to be everything else. So your peripheral nervous system is all the nerves located out of the central nervous system. So just like I said, anything that is not your brain and your spinal cord, any of your little nerves, all that, your vertebrae, all those is your peripheral nervous system. So let's look at the parts of the brain. Okay, you have your left half of your cerebrum, your right half of your cerebrum. You have your cerebellum, which is this knot in the back, your spinal cord, which connects to the brain stem, and then it goes into some glands, which are in your brain. So let's talk about the cerebrum. There are three main regions of the brain. The cerebrum is what intercepts input from your senses. It controls your movement of your skeletal muscles, and it carries out complex mental processes such as learning, remembering, and making judgments. So right now, you are using your cerebrum because you are learning, you are going to remember this, and you're probably judging me on how you like this PowerPoint right now. So your cerebrum is just on fire. You're also probably moving your pencil, which is using your skeletal muscles. You're sensing whether you're cold and hot or bored, all that kind of stuff. So your cerebrum controls all of this. The left half controls the right side of the body, and the right half controls the left side of the body. So if you're right-handed, when you're moving your hand to right now, you're using the left side of your cerebrum. If you are left-handed, you're using the right side of your cerebrum. It will always be opposite. So here you go. So you've probably heard that, are you right-brained, are you left-brained? That's talking about right brain, left brain, cerebrum. So what does it do again? It helps control your thought, your voluntary movement, your language, your reasoning, and your perception. Okay, so write these down. Your cerebrum's function controls thought, voluntary movement, which is skeletal muscle only, language, reasoning, and perception. All right, so what does your right hemisphere dominate? Your spatial abilities, your face recognition, your visual imagery, and music. So if you are really good at music, if you're really good at visualizing things and recognizing if someone's sad, happy, mad by their facial expressions, and if you're really good at spacing when you're writing and all that kind of stuff, you are mainly right cerebral dominant. So what does the left side do? The left side controls your language, math, and logic. So if you're really good at math and science and you're good with languages, you're mainly left. If you're more creative, you're mainly right. I'm obviously left. Okay, cerebrum. It coordinates the actions of your muscles and helps to keep your balance. So it does a lot at one time. So again, it helps with movement, balance, and posture. So let's go into the brainstem, because to me, this is going to be very important. Your brainstem controls all your involuntary actions, such as breathing and heartbeat. All that smooth muscle that we don't control subconscious or consciously, it's your brainstem that controls it. So if you ever get in an accident and your brainstem is damaged, that's when you're going to have to go on life support. You can't make your heart beat. You can't breathe. You can't help all the smooth muscles in your digestive system. So if you're brain dead, pretty much what that means is that it's your brainstem that is damaged. So brainstem controls all involuntary actions, pretty much all your life controlling activities, such as breathing, your heart beating, all that stuff. So breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, those are all the functions of the brainstem. Pretty much life, if you want to keep it in one word. So let's go into your peripheral nervous system. Parts of your peripheral nervous system include your somatic nervous system, which controls all your voluntary actions, activities that you choose to or to not do, such as running, writing, singing. All these things that you can control, these are your somatic nervous system. Your automatic nervous system controls involuntary actions, such as the diameter of your blood vessels and controlling your heart. So let's go into your senses. Vision, hearing, balance, smell, taste, touch. All your sense organs and the stimuli in these are impulses from your brain. Your brain interprets this information and then sends a response. So all senses is considered a stimulus. Okay? So that's where we're going to end. If you need to rewind it at any time, feel free to do so, and I will see you tomorrow where we'll do the human body. Thank you.